It's no big secret that the availability of potable water is becoming a huge issue on our planet. If you want to put it into perspective, less than 1% of the water on the planet is drinkable by humans. Hi. It's Salli here again. I am back to review the popular product called World War Water Program. You'll find all my thoughts outlined in the video. In this video you're going to find a little bit of information about what you can expect from the product, some of the pros and cons, as well as my overall thoughts on it. Here's our test. Enjoy! It's estimated that per person water use is about 100 gallons of water per day when you consider drinking, bathing, cleaning, watering plants, etc. So water shortage is a real concern, especially if something were to happen to the public water supply. I recently read a guide titled World War Water and it was packed with useful information. The guide begins by explaining exactly why we should be concerned about depending upon public utilities for our water. Most of our public water systems were only built to last about 50 years and we're at the end of that life cycle. Current water facilities are outdated and fraught with issues including filters that aren't designed to remove modern impurities and pipes that are so old that they're breaking. As World War Water explains, there are really only two options here. The government needs to update the current infrastructure or allow private companies to come in and take over the job. Either way means an increase in rates to consumers, and the guide explains the ins and outs of both of these options. In an effort to seize as much water as possible for public use, the EPA is trying to change current verbiage in laws that can possibly allow them to seize private creeks and streams, thus denying property owners full use of their land. That has disaster written all over it. Another point that we need to consider here is that if we run out of natural water resources, our food supplies will dwindle because farms need access to large amounts of water in order to grow the crops that feed us. Without it, agriculture will come to a screeching halt and the majority of people won't have ready access to affordable food. No matter how you look at it, dependence on public water supplies is becoming less and less viable for smart prepper. Fortunately, World War Water offers some great solutions. Regardless of the politics surrounding our water issues, we all need a safe, reliable source of clean drinking water. We quite simply can't survive without it. So what is the solution? According to the guide, we should take matters into our own hands in order to ensure that our families have the water necessary to survive and thrive. We shouldn't put all of our eggs into one basket. Have at least a couple of different sources for collecting and purifying water. There are a few suggestions here and one of them is installing a water tank. In the past, this has been an issue for most of us because of the cost, the weight and the space necessary to store a tank large enough to hold a significant amount of water. The guide offers a great solution to these obstacles. Another suggestion that the guide offers is to collect rainwater. You may not realize this, but in many places, it's actually becoming illegal to collect rainwater. The key, if you're inclined to do this, is to not get caught at it. Not that we're suggesting anything illegal, but the guide does offer some insight into collecting enough rainwater to provide quite a bit of water that you can use for drinking. World War Water also mentions sinking a well, which is an expensive endeavor that, according to most professionals, and requires placing the well at least a couple of 100 feet underground. Whether you're getting your water from a well, depending upon rainwater collection or drinking from a water tank, you need to purify your water. No water source today, including the water that comes from public infrastructures, is guaranteed to be safe to drink. Water can contain impurities such as minerals, bacteria and pollution that can make you extremely ill. And the guide offers some ways to purify your water as well. Air is just full of little water particles. Especially if you live in the south or near the ocean, you know what humidity is, but do you know how to pull the water in the air out in such a manner that you can gain enough to drink it? I certainly didn't, at least not in practice. There is a device that does exactly that. The problem, though, is that it's wicked expensive for people on a normal budget. World War Water solves this problem for you. This is where the guide really came in handy for me. It explains exactly how to build your own water generator for very little money using a water dehumidifier and some other common parts that you probably already have around the house. There are detailed instructions and even a video so that you can read and watch, step by step, exactly how to build a DIY water generator. In addition to providing fabulous instructions, World War Water explains what each part and tool is, provides a picture of it, and lets you know about how much each piece will cost. In a nutshell, you'll know exactly how to build your water generator, what parts and tools you'll need, and how much you can expect to spend. It's one of the best written guides I've found to date on this topic. If that's not enough, World War Water comes along with 2 free reports on purifying and remineralizing your water, and water storage. If you're worried about depending on public sources of drinking water, World War Water is a great DIY guide to have. The information that World War Water provides is good for novice and pro alike, and anybody can follow the directions that are included. I also like the fact that it provided so much in-depth information about the need for building your own water generator. You should check this guide out for yourself right now, and I heartily recommend that you do. Well, if you're ready to try the program, you can get started by simply clicking on the link in the description below, articletrafficlink.com/worldwarwater, to learn all of the details about the program. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for checking out my review. Wishing you the best. See you next time.